I don't think I have ever posted an Empties video that is entirely made up of products that I am absolutely obsessed with until today. And if you know me and how insanely picky and critical I am of every single beauty product I test and review, you will know how crazy this is. And I didn't even do that on purpose. I was just pulling things out of my Empties drawer to prepare for this video today, and I was looking at the overview of everything like, wait a minute, this is going to turn into my first ever Empties favorites video because I genuinely love everything sitting here. So let's dive into all of the beauty products I have fully used up recently. Starting off with skincare Empties, we have my favorite cleansing balm of all time, Geek and Gorgeous Mighty Melt. I've definitely tried a lot of cleansing balms that work really well and that I enjoy, but there are very few that I can think of that I love the texture of so much that I get excited to smear it all over my face. And I think that's partially because makeup removal is without a doubt my least favorite part of my nighttime skincare routine. So for something to make me enjoy that step, you know it's good. And that is exactly what Geek and Gorgeous Mighty Melt has been for me for years at this point. The texture is super soft. It's something that I describe as pillowy because it has this like light, cushy softness that's just really, really nice. It's not greasy, it's not oily, it's not heavy. I just love everything about it. So it's something that I will continue to repurchase, recommend, rave about because it's so good and it's affordable. And they are officially available on Amazon. And I say officially because I did reach out to the brand to confirm that that was like a verified seller for them, not something sketchy and fraudulent, since you never know. And they said that yes, it's verified as long as this seller that I'll put here on the screen is the seller that you are purchasing from. So that just makes me super excited to see an international brand that I have loved for years become more widely accessible to so many people. Second is a moisturizer that I immediately fell in love with that I just cannot get enough of. It is the Numbuzin Pantothenic B5 Active Soothing Cream. This has a light gel cream texture that is intensely hydrating. It's one of those moisturizers that just makes my skin look super plumped and juicy, like that glass skin effect in a jar. So this has been my go-to nighttime moisturizer for the past several months now, and I've not only finished up this jar, but I'm about to finish up my second as well. So I clearly love it because if I buy something back to back like that and finish it up that quickly, you just know that it's something I cannot get my hands off of. What? Cannot get my hands off of? Can't take my hands off of? Can't stop reaching for? I feel like my brain is at like the slowest possible processing speed right now. I just got back from a wedding weekend that was so much fun, but had a lot of late nights. So that on top of, you know, the past month or so of a new puppy has left me in rare form. Next is also something that became a nighttime staple for me very quickly. This is the BYOMA Barrier Repair Eye Cream, and it is so, so good. My youngest sister, Libby, actually just texted me asking for recommendations for a drugstore eye cream, and she sent me like a list of a few that she was looking at, and I was like, no, none of those, you have to try this. It really is just the nicest eye cream I've tried from the drugstore in a really long time, not only because of the fact that it's moisturizing, nourishing, replenishing, but also because the texture is just so nice. The texture is very rich and creamy, but not overly so to the point of it feeling too heavy or like just unpleasant. It really has an elevated texture that to me feels like it's something that could be expensive. So if you're looking for an eye cream that is amazing for nighttime that doesn't break the bank, I would highly recommend checking this one out. Moving on to sunscreen, I have some of my all-time favorite Korean sunscreens, and actually now that I'm looking at these, I'm like, these might actually be my top 3 favorite sunscreens of the moment right now. So I'll start off with the one that you guys will definitely recognize the most. It is the TOCOBO Bio Watery Sun Cream. I have been raving about this for a couple of years now. Still obsessed with it, still love it, still recommend it. It is so amazing for a sunscreen that is lightweight yet hydrating. I forgot to breathe the entire time I said that. And this is the only one out of these 3 that dries down to have a naturally glowy finish. So that's another reason why I love it. I feel like it's just so easy to work with, whether you're wearing it by itself or under makeup. But so are these 2. They just have slightly different finishes and textures. So this is the Delba UV Waterfall Essence, and oh my goodness, is this beautiful. I just love how this feels to apply. It's like a soft, creamy lotion that is light and has a little bit of a gel quality, but is a little thicker than TOCOBO in a different way. I feel like TOCOBO is kind of like a serum-y lotion. This one's a bit more, how would I describe it? Not whipped. I think airy is the word that I'm looking for, because it's like, it looks like it's thicker and heavier, but it feels so light on the skin. And the finish is glowy with a slight radiance to it, so it just kind of creates this like halo effect on the skin. I can't quite describe it, but it's definitely unique and definitely beautiful. However, if I had to pick the one out of the 3 that I have relied on the most this summer, it would 100% be the House of Hur Weightless sun fluid. This is one of the most unbelievable sunscreens I have ever tried. It is so incredibly light that it not only dries down to feel like I have nothing on, but it looks like I have nothing on too. And I know that that is not going to be for everybody. Like, some people do want some sort of radiance or a glow boost in their sunscreen, but for those of you that don't want anything else added to your skin, you're like, you know what? I get everything I need through my skincare or the makeup that I'm wearing. I just need a sunscreen that plays well with everything else and does not alter the finish of my skin. This is going to be for you. So I have fully used up 2 bottles of this recently, and I've already started another because this is actually my go-to sunscreen when I am reviewing new complexion products, because I want to make sure that the sunscreen that I'm using isn't altering the finish or the wear at all, and I know that I can count on this for that. Next up, we have a lip balm that I still absolutely love. It is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm, of course, in the scent vanilla. I will just never get over how creamy and melty and nourishing this feels. Like, this is one of those lip balms that feels luxurious. If you are newer to my channel and you were not here for my giant lip balm showdown, I will list that in the description box below, but I reviewed this amongst about 50-ish other lip balms. I think it was 55 total. And this one made the cut as one of my top favorites out of the entire video because it's just so nice. Next up is the Sweed Pro Eyelash Serum, which I decided to pick up this winter, and I started testing it out at the very end of January. I was like, I'll just document this, get some before and after footage, not really expecting much, and I was genuinely shocked by my results. So I posted a video talking all about not only my experience in using this lash serum and the ingredients in this and how I suspect it works, but eyelash serums in general, prostaglandin analogs. I did also get a direct quote from an eye doctor talking about potential risks. So if you missed that video, I will list it in the description box below, but this is the eyelash serum that I have been using that has given me those results. So my experience with this has been amazing so far, but I told you guys in that video that I would continue using this unless something else came along that I wanted to test out instead, and that time has come. I can't disclose what the brand is yet, but there is a brand coming out with a lash serum that I am really excited to try because I not only trust the creator, the technology, but it's also more affordable, which I know is definitely the main pain point with this. I do have a 20% off discount code with Sweed, but even still, it's definitely very pricey, especially when it's something that you want to commit to long term. So I'm excited to test out the more affordable alternative, and I will definitely keep you guys posted on that in the future, but it's going to take several months because it takes several months to see results. And last for skincare is actually a nail care item. It is Kerasal's multi-purpose nail repair. So I have actually had 2 experiences now where I got fake nails removed. I used a bond repair treatment on my nails to help with all of the damage and actually ended up not in like a worse situation, but with a new problem, which is that my nail plates started lifting from my nail beds after using them too long. Well, at least I know that that's what happened with the first one. I don't know about the second. So the first is OPI repair mode, which is a nail repair treatment that I've recommended to you guys. Works so well for me, but I did not realize that you could only use that for 7 days. They literally have like a max limit that they recommend. I used it for much longer than that. And then as a result, I saw that my nail plates started lifting from my nail beds, which if you have experienced that, you know how weird and like just gross it is. It's not something that's painful. It looks gross. The second time that happened to me was late this spring. I actually got my nails removed because Apres launched a bond repair treatment for nails that I was so excited to test out that I was like, let's take these off now, see how well it works. And at first the results were amazing. I was like, holy crap. But with time, I started to realize that the same thing was happening to me. My nail plates were lifting from my nail beds. I actually reached out to the brand like, hey, this happened to me with OPI. Do you guys also have like a max number of days that you're supposed to use this? They said no, and they had actually recommended that I use it more often than I was, but I was like, that doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't feel like the solution. Knowing that the only reason this happened to me before was by overusing one of these treatments. Just knocked everything over. So they weren't able to give me any sort of clarification or reasoning as to why that would happen. And because of my experience, I decided I'm just gonna stop using that and go back to what solved the issue for me the first time, which is Kerasal. So here are my nails now. Finally in a place where I feel like they're growing in a healthy way and not like, again, looking really terrifying. So if you're someone that has nail damage after getting your nails removed, or you are also in a situation like I was where you're seeing that nail plate lifting from a bond repair treatment, I would highly recommend Kerasal in addition to a cuticle oil. I feel like that combination just finally saved my nails. Let's move on to makeup next because I do not have that many makeup empties to talk about. I have mascara and an eyebrow pencil. So I have emptied 3 of the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal mascaras. I didn't even realize that I had gone through this many, but goes to show how much I love this. This has been my go-to for a bit more of a natural eyelash look because my all-time favorite mascara, Maybelline Lash Sensational, is definitely a bit bolder, has much more volume. This is thinner, but still very long and fluttery, so I really, really love the look that I get with this when I don't want something quite as voluminous or when I want to kind of add this sort of effect to something like Maybelline Lash Sensational to get the best of both. But the other mascara that I have been obsessed with is actually what's on my lashes right now. It is the Too Faced Ribbon Wrapped Lash Tubing Mascara. This is so good. The length that I get from this mascara is absolutely insane. It like shocks me every time. And I also love how easy this is to remove despite the fact that it doesn't really come off like you would expect with the tubing mascara. So if you are someone that's like ride or die for tubing mascaras and you need the kind that come off in little tubes, this doesn't do that. It does smear off, but it comes off so easily, like much more easily than a non-tubing formula. I don't have to sit and rub. I feel like I just like press on it and it swipes off and it's really easy to clean up. The one thing that I will say about this is that it is a little bit too wet at first, so I have to wipe off the wand for like the first week or so that I use it, maybe like 2 weeks, and then after that the formula is perfect. So it's something that you do have to kind of like figure out how to work with. Otherwise, I felt it was just a little bit too wet and clumpy on my lashes, but that solved it. And then after that, it is perfection. And the last makeup item is the Kosas Brow Pop Dual Action Defining Pencil. This has been my go-to brow pencil for a long time now, not only because of how teeny tiny the pencil is, but because the shade is perfect. So I have this in the shade Honey Blonde, which I feel like just suits my warmer blonde color so well. It's not super cool. It's not too dark. I'm like, finally, a brand who understands that not all blondes want a super icy, ashy, dark blonde pencil. Moving on to Bodycare, these are actually all body lotions, but they all serve a different purpose, all very different formulas, so I have like a little bit of something for everyone here. First is the Vaseline Pro Vita B3 Serum Burst Lotion. I have gone through 1 in the gold packaging, which is the Luminous Glow formula, and 2 of the Supple and Soft formula. So if you watched my best drugstore skincare video, where I actually recommended all of these lotions that I'm about to go through, you will know that the reason why I recommend Vaseline Pro Vita B3 and why I love it so much is because it is the perfect summertime lotion. It truly has a texture unlike anything I have tried before. It's incredibly light. It's like a serum lotion hybrid. It's velvety, it's soft, and kind of like I was saying with the House of Hur sunscreen, it dries down to feel like nothing. But it somehow feels like that while still being hydrating enough to work for me all day long, especially in the summer when it's hot and it's humid and I don't need something heavy. This is perfect for me. Obviously, that's why I've gone through so many. Oh, we're spilling things again. Next is the Saltair Multi-Lipid Body Butter, which is definitely thicker than the Vaseline lotions, but not quite as thick as what I'm going to talk about next, which is EOS. This is just one of the nicest body butters I have ever tried at any price point, so the fact that it's drugstore is crazy to me. The texture is just unbelievably elevated. It's buttery, it's creamy, it's not too heavy, super soft, also something that I would say feels pillowy. I just love this. I love how moisturizing it feels. The dry down is great. It's not something that stays wet. It's not sticky. Everything about it is perfect. I just love this stuff. Last are a couple different EOS lotions that I have finished up. These are their 24-hour moisture shea butter body lotions. First is in the scent Fresh and Cozy, and second is in the scent Strawberry Dream. These are definitely very, very thick, like thicker than Saltair for sure. And honestly, I feel like not appropriately named. Nothing about this texture feels like a lotion to me. It's much more in line with like a body cream or a butter. So because of that, I feel like this would probably be your worst nightmare to use in the summertime if you live somewhere that's really hot and humid. But in the winter and colder weather months, or if you don't live somewhere like that, these are so, so nice. They're intensely moisturizing. I love the fragrances. So Fresh and Cozy, definitely more of like a clean, fresh, linen, cozy kind of smell that is super yummy. Very different from Strawberry Dream, a true gourmand that smells like straight up strawberry milkshake. I'm obsessed with this, but I also really do love Fresh and Cozy when I want something that just like feels calming. All right, moving on to our final category, we have hair care. Let's touch on medicated shampoos first, because I have used up 2 of them and I'm actually often asked questions about them, the difference, how to know which one is best for you. So the first is Head & Shoulders Classic Classic Clean, and the second is the CeraVe Anti-Dandruff Hydrating Shampoo. Both of these contain 1% pyrithione zinc, so they have the exact same active ingredient, the exact same amount. Really the biggest difference between the two, I would say, is just the level of clean that they provide. So Head & Shoulders Classic Clean is more of like a true deep cleaning shampoo. Really amazing if you have an oily scalp or heavy buildup that you need to remove, whereas CeraVe still gives you a nice clean, but is something that is a little bit gentler and probably better suited for you if you have a normal to dry scalp. The texture of the CeraVe shampoo is a little bit milky, but not to the point of being so heavy that it weighs down the hair on my scalp. So it's something that I can still use and enjoy. But again, if you're someone that needs that deep clean, then I would go for Head & Shoulders. But otherwise, I think CeraVe is a really nice option too. The other shampoo that I used up is the K18 Peptide Prep Detox Shampoo, which is one of my top recommendations for a clarifying shampoo. What I really love about this one is that you're not only getting that deep clean, but there are also other ingredients in this that are intentional for oily scalps. So this contains both salicylic acid and charcoal powder to help to remove excess oil and impurities, which can be really helpful as like secondary ingredients on top of the deep cleaning cleansing agents. And in thinking about the deep cleaning shampoos that I recommend, especially at the drugstore, I don't think I have any other recommendations that have those kinds of ingredients in them. I know the Living Proof clarifying shampoo does have charcoal, but this is the only one with both charcoal and salicylic acid, which may be something that's worth trying out if you haven't had success with others. Moving on to conditioners and masks, I have the Dove Bond Strength Conditioner and the Dove Bond Strength Mask. These are still absolute holy grails for me, and I feel like will be forever, but I say that and I'm like, the hair industry keeps innovating before my eyes, so who knows where we'll be in a year, 2 years from now, but at this point in time, I'm like, my God, the way that Dove formulates their products, specifically their conditioning products, is just next level. What on earth? How did I do this? I just realized that I put the Intensive Repair lid on the Bond Strength tub. What? That must have somehow gotten messed up when I was filming application of these in the shower. That's like the only way I can think of that happening. Which, I guess while we're talking about it, if you do want to know the difference between the Dove Intensive Repair Mask and the Dove Bond Strength Mask, I detail that a bit more in the video where I talk about my all-time favorite hair masks, so I will list that below. I have finished up 2 of the L'Oreal Everpure Glossing 5-minute lamination mask treatments. I just love these so much. These are also similar to Dove for me, where I just know that I'm always going to get a really super sleek, soft, smooth, shiny result, and I love them for that. I have seen a few comments from people saying like, I didn't really notice a difference in using this. Am I doing something wrong? And I will say that I do have to use a lot of this product in order to get the amount of shine that I want and like the amount of gloss that I want. It's something that's very light and liquidy and definitely just different in texture than a normal conditioner or mask. And so because of that, I feel like it's something that people are probably likely to underuse, just like, I don't know, thinking that they only need a little bit, but I really do need, you know, enough to like fully coat all the sections of my hair in order to get that glossing effect that I want. But once I do that, I just love the result. I also finished up the conditioner that goes with this collection, which is the glossing conditioner, and I really love this too. I feel like this is something that I will either use by itself or in combination with that treatment and get really nice results either way. I think it just kind of depends on like the level of smoothing that I want, because this is not quite as intense. But overall, this L'Oreal Everpure glossing line is so nice. I'm also obsessed with the smell. God, it's good. So it's something that I definitely plan to just kind of like keep in my rotation and keep alternating between amongst all of my favorites. Which is also what I would say about these products from the OGX Bond Protein Repair collection. So I have their pre-shampoo repair and protect treatment. I have their 1-minute treatment mask and their Bond Protein Repair 450 degree heat protect spray. I got a demon on the loose. We are trying to chew on my light cords, aren't we? So we're gonna have to sit on my lap. So something that I do appreciate about the OGX Bond Repair treatment is that it's not only delivering that bond repair, but it's also conditioning at the same time. That is not something that you're always going to find in a bond repair treatment, because that isn't the primary purpose of these kinds of products. But that just makes me appreciate a treatment like this that is a bit softer and smoother and helps to deliver those qualities to my hair a bit more immediately, because it just makes it nicer nicer to experience while in the shower too. And the reparative technology in this is completely different from K18, L'Oreal, Redken, Garnier. This uses a technology called FiberHance, which is actually also in Sally Beauty's Bond Repair line, their Bond Bar. I definitely prefer OGX to Bond Bar, which is why OGX is what I'm keeping in my collection, because I really love the idea of using different kinds of bond repair treatments with different kinds of technology to hopefully see even better results. I also really love their 1-minute treatment mask. This makes my hair perfectly soft and smooth, but not quite as like flattened and sleek as the Dove Intense Repair collection or L'Oreal Glossing. So if you don't want that kind of effect in a mask, or you just like to alternate and get different results on different days, then this is one that I would recommend if you enjoy a thick, creamy mask that isn't too heavy. And then their Heat Protect spray is the last of the collection that I emptied that I wanted to talk about, and I thought I would talk about it at the same time as my last product in this video, the L'Oreal Everpure Moisture 21-in-1 spray, just in case you wanted to know the difference. I think the most common complaint I've seen about the OGX leave-in is that it can be a bit too heavy for people and weigh down their hair, and I think one of the reasons for that is because of the applicator. This has a nozzle that is going to spray quite a bit of product because it's a very wide, even continuous mist, and I personally love that for even application, making sure all my strands are protected, but I can see how that could potentially be an issue for you if you don't have a lot of density, if you have fine, thin hair, because again, it does distribute quite a bit of product. So if this one didn't quite work out for you, there are several other leave-ins that I recommend and really love, one of which is the L'Oreal Moisture Spray. This is not necessarily one that I would say is like super lightweight. I actually don't think it is. If that is the main thing that you're going for, I would go for like Pantene Miracle Rescue or one of the Tresemme leave-ins. This, out of all of my leave-ins from the drugstore, is the one that I would say has the most slip. Not to the point of being something that feels oily or greasy in my hair, but compared to other leave-ins, it's definitely just got a bit more of that, which could either be a pro or a con for you. So it totally is up to personal preference and what you prefer the feel of in your own hair, but these are definitely two of my all-time favorite leave-ins, especially from the drugstore. And actually, while we're talking about these, I am working on a video where I share my top favorite leave-ins of all time at both drugstore and high-end price points. And I think I want to post that video before I finish my Best of Drugstore series. So I have done Best of Drugstore skincare, body care, and makeup. Last is hair care. And I will absolutely be doing that, but I feel like it makes more sense to finish my favorite hair care products in every category video first, so that then we have that like all listed out. You have options at all price points, and then I can do the Best of Drugstore after. Just thought I would give you guys an update on that and what I'm currently thinking behind the scenes. So with that, for this video, we have made it to the end. As I am looking at everything, I'm like, did I just redo my last favorites video? I really hope not. I hope that this didn't feel repetitive, but these are truly the products that I have been using so much that I have fully used them up, and they just so happened to all be favorites. That will certainly not be the case for the next Empties video, but I feel like this was kind of fun for like a little bit of a change of pace for an Empties. Let me know in the comments if you are also using and loving any of these products or others that you think I need to try. My God, you guys. This is a boy who's having a witching hour right now, isn't he? Yeah, we're gonna need to go for WALK. Can you give me 2 more seconds to do my outro? Thank you. All the products I just talked about will be listed and linked in my description box below in order of mention, as always. And if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more like this from me, ooh, big yawn. Please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for your support in doing those things. It truly means the world. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Should we put you down so Elsie can say bye? Make sure to stay tuned for my next video because that will be up a week from today. But until then, I hope you have a great week.